Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much.
Walaikum salam. My name is Hamza Akram. I am a student at FCU in the Mass Comm department. I have done my inter and matric from my hometown, Pakistan. Today, our topic is the role of family support on the lives of working females in Pakistan. For that, we have Ma'am Faiza Tasneem with us. Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Peter.
How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Would you like to briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Faiza Tasneem. I'm an assistant professor in the School of Management here in FCCU. I teach specialization courses in HR and OD, and I've done my master's from England, and then I'm enrolled in a PhD in management sciences from University Putra, Malaysia. So, and I've worked extensively in throughout my life of more than professional career of more than 20 years work in industry, in academia and many other industries. I'm basically I'm through and through HR person. So I worked in different HR roles throughout my life. But now I am doing my PhD and teaching here in FC.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
understand that discussing professional challenges, particularly those faced by women, can be sensitive and important. To begin with, could you share any specific observations or experiences you have encountered regarding the role of family support on the lives of working females?
I will deal with this question in two ways, personally and what I have observed as an HR person. And throughout, since I travel a lot, this is one of my hobby. So I have mingled with the diverse people with diverse background, and I've seen their struggles, especially women. So if we talk about this South Asia context, the challenges women face in South Asia context as well as in Western, they more or less are the same. I think if I won't be wrong if I say that some of these challenges women face, they are universal. They are boundaryless. They do not belong to a certain creed or region. They are like, for instance, harassment. It's prevalent all across the globe. Women subjected to different choices in careers. It is everywhere. You see that everywhere. Glass ceiling is another concept. You see that everywhere. So some of the concepts that women go through, some of the challenges, I would say, that women go through, they are particular. They're not particular to a certain region. They are universal, global. Well, some of the things I have observed in Pakistan, being a female myself, married and running a family and doing a job, uh, I think family support is very, very vital. Since I have abundant family support, I have thrived here in Pakistan as well as when I was in UK, and it has had a very positive impact on my life personally. I have come across women whose families, husbands, spouses, mother-in-laws are very, very supportive, and I have seen. Um, if I talk about personality, I've seen a very positive. These women making a very positive impact on other women, empowering other women. So I think when you are surrounded by positivity, it becomes very natural for you, or easy for you to spread positivity. And being a woman, I think you can walk in other women's shoe and see very easily where the shoe pinches. And I think as a woman, when you are in a position to help them out, you feel a very strange type of gratitude in helping different people out. So I think, yes, to answer your question, family support is very important. This is very critical for a woman's success, professional success, as well as personal success. It is important for their mental health, better mental health, and this is where West also steps in. I've seen women in a Western country also being supported by their spouses, but since the culture of Pakistan in particular is more collective, we are collectivist in nature. So there are some issues as well. So if you want me to talk about some of the issues that women face, challenges of your faith, it is the basically balancing between the professional lifestyle duties and your personal lifestyle duties. This is where, sometimes the complication comes. Women are forced to balance. Sometimes the employer does not allow that sort of balance. They are also demanding. Sometimes the family is demanding. You have children who are school going, who are young. You have to take care of them. Then you have elderly living with you, especially in Pakistan, the sort of society we are. We have a joint family system over here. So there's a lot of stress on women to meet the expectation of the employer as well as that of the family, immediate family and extended family. So yes, the crunch of all the burdens that a women go through in order to fulfill their professional life as well as personal life, they can have very, very damaging effect on their sometimes relationships, on their health. So you see a lot of women going through stress, constant stress, and that constant stress at some stage in their life has a very impairing effect on their health, overall health. So yes, women face a lot of challenges, but in my opinion, many of them are very resilient. They are working their way around how to tackle these problems. They are successful in professional life, and some of them are, have found their balance somehow. They have found the magic wand to bring the balance, and they're running their families as well with the same success.
Right. So, ma'am, in your opinion, what are the main causes of work-family conflict among Pakistani married women professionals?
In particularly, like I mentioned earlier, the expectation of the family and the expectation of the employer. The balance is very difficult to get. Because if a woman, like a lot of nurses, they have, if they're married, a lot of them have night shifts, very long night shifts. In offices, it's 9 to 5 generally, but sometimes it's not just 9 to 5. Sometimes it's 9 to 6, 9 to 7, 9 to 8. So when the family, if they don't have maids or they don't have house helps at home, the family circle gets disturbed, and that creates a strained pressure on women. And I think this is where, if a spouse can be helpful, if people who are back at home, they can be helpful, it can take off some steam from women, right? The one who is stuck at the office due to XY reason. So one of the biggest challenges that women in Pakistan face is that they are expected to play so many roles. They are expected to wear so many hats in a daytime that the expectation, I think, it's taking its toll on women. I find some of them, getting tired very easily, being niggly, like upset very quickly, short-tempered, because they are expected to be the perfect version of themselves at work as well as in family. So the real question here is, if you are a married woman, you're a mother, or a daughter-in-law, and then you are a professional, who is your friend? You are giving your energy, trying to give equal energy to everyone around you. But then who is there to support you? Who speaks on your behalf? Who takes care of you? When you go home, are there people who are going to offer you a cup of tea? Are there going to be people who are going to chat up with you on general grounds? Okay, let's sit down. How was your day? How did you do? If you're not well, what can we do for you? Do we have that sort of environment here? Now, these are the sort of things I think we need to talk more about these things on different platforms. That yes, a man, if he's working from 9 to 5, if he comes home, he has an expectation that somebody in the family will greet me with a smile on the face, will give me something. Is a woman allowed to do the same? The real question is this. Would there be someone at her place to do the same for her? This is the question. This is where there is a gap in practices and what we preach and expect. So I think that is sort of things, these are the sort of discussions I think we need to do more. We need to create awareness in masses that yes, these can be done. A woman can be a very good professional and a very good mother and a wife, but they also need sport. They also need breaks.
Right. So, ma'am, what techniques do Pakistani women use to resolve these conflicts between their family and their work life?
Honestly, I think they are being sandwiched. On most occasions than not, they are being sandwiched. And like I said, only few of them have found the magic wand to make family worries go away and also the employer worries go away. And I see a bigger role of employers as well as families in the near future, because now there are different trends of work which are emerging after Corona. For instance, work from home, a new emerging concept, which I think we will is embraced by the whole world in order to include more women to the economic circle and empower them economically, which is a very good trend, which is a healthy one. I think Pakistan needs to, take more stride in that, because we have the population. I think 49% of our population is women, and only very few percent, but I think Pakistan lies very low on the index in Southeast Asia of working women. So there are so many possibilities to consider here. And most of the women that I myself, we try and balance everyone in our life. We try and fulfill our role to the best of our capacities in our life. But are there misgivings? Yes, there are days when I'm not, and people like me are not on their best. There are days when we miss something. There are days when we are unable to deliver something which was expected of us. But then again, like I said, I have a supportive family. They would understand that if I'm not at 100%, giving 100% on something, they would say it's all right. Now, I don't know how many women are blessed in Pakistan like that. How many women, when they don't give 100%, their employer can say, oh, it's all right, you're just having a bad day. Or when they go home and they are unable to meet the requirement of the family. I don't know how many women are blessed in Pakistan to listen to this from their spouses and their family members. It's all right, you need a break. Sit down, it's all right. So, we don't understand the power of this particular small sentence. It's all right, it's okay. And when you say it with a smile and some compassion, and you're kind to the other person, it can do a dose of wonder for themselves, for them. And women, I'm sure you have encountered, they're generally kinder, they're generally compassionate, and generally they want to help out everyone. They want to solve all the problems everyone brings to them. So this compassion, there are times when they also need that compassion from the environment. So the people who I know are trying to make the best of their capabilities and abilities, but yes, they need support from the family and friends and employers.
In Pakistan, especially, it is a routine for males to say to a woman that what have you done, what was hard in it, like whatever they don't know what was the problem faced by them. They were just like, I can also do this. This wasn't something that you were saying that.
Yes.
We need to change that perspective.
Yes, absolutely.
So, would you like to share any personal coping strategies that you use to lessen the strain between your personal and professional life?
Oh yes, I try and make a schedule as human and as realistic as possible in order to avoid missing things at home as well as at workplace. Generally, since my workplace is good, very good, I'm very blessed to be part of this particular organization where they give huge regard to women who are participating here, and they take care of themselves. My organization, since it takes care of me, in return, I try and give 100% at my place of work, and I design my work so that if there are meetings, there are important data to be shared, if there are important there are proceedings to be done, important strategic decisions to be done, I plan in advance for them. If I know that it's something as work is going to consume my energy, then I inform my family beforehand that there are going to be these number of days, I will be very caught up at work. I may not be able to answer my phone even or text, which happens at sometimes. I'm unable to look at my phone for a very long period of time. So if I'm working on some data intensive thing and something requires my attention at home or at work, then I inform my family. And at home, if it's cooking, if it's something that related to maid, if there are guests coming over, so we also plan that. Like if there are guests coming over from outside the city or outside of Pakistan, then we plan that as well. And since I said, like I said, that I'm very grateful for working at such a good organization that understand that women have a house, they have families, and they're responsible for them too. So if I tell my colleagues and my head over here that on such and such days I have some commitments at home, they're very understanding. They accommodate me. So from now, for me, it's a win-win situation right now. So I think again, the magic is you have good support from your employer, and you have an understanding family that understand that in order for me to function on an intellectual level and achieve my professional goals, there are going to be days when I'm going to compromise some of my role over there. So they understand that.
Okay, so as we live in Pakistan, what impact do cultural norms have on the lives of working professionals?
A lot. A very strong hold. As I mentioned earlier, that we are a collectivist society. So the real burden of raising a child or running a house lies here with women only. Traditionally, culturally, this is what we have seen. This is a model, only operating model that we have seen over here. I think it's high time that we also at homes we start talking about that your daughter is not only responsible for working in kitchen or running some of the chores at the home. I think maybe your son can also be trained to do a few things, help the sister out, help the mother out. So if we train the boys at home, we can have very quickly we can have a very changed environment here where everyone feels responsible for doing small things at home, which are also which also fall under the ambit of a woman doing it. So maybe it's cooking and cleaning, and it's thing like in West people do that. Both the partners, they work equally together. They take care of the house responsibilities, they take care of the professional responsibilities, social responsibilities. So they divide it amongst themselves. So I think in Pakistan, if we try that particular model, it will be very difficult because not many people are going to be receptive of that. But I think gradually some of us can take that strain off the women and become their support system rather than just demand system.
I am an hostelite and I live far from my home, so I know whenever I go back home, I try and help my mom in the kitchen. It takes half or maximum 1 hour of my time, but I know how happy it makes
Yeah.
her.
Now you appreciate
Yes.
that the sort of work they do, so it's very cute of you.
So, as you have explained earlier, that you are lucky to have been in such organization that they recognize your problem. But what role does organizational support can play in reducing the tension between work and family for the other organizations?
There is no denying the fact that if your employer does not recognize that you have, life other than the life at work, then it becomes very difficult. And the history is filled with such toxic environment where people suffer from a lot of undue stress at the hands of the employer because the employer is not ready to let you go. And the family also has demands on you. So this constant tension there are so many studies available now who have talked about the impact of remaining under such constant stress on women in particular. And you see a lot of focus after Corona on the mental health of the employees. A lot of companies have faced and are pushed to design their work environment such that they have these de-stressing activities at work. So stress can be very lethal. It is a very, very quiet enemy of us all, be it a young person or an old person like me. So I think many organizations in Pakistan have changed the way they look at how women participation at work should be like. A lot of IT industries in Pakistan, a lot of IT industry is giving the option to women now to work from home on one of the days that they come to work. And if they're not required at all in the job, at work, place, office, they are also now making strategies to keep them engaged at work, at home. So there is a trend now that now work from home is no longer a perk. It is given as a given that yes, you can work from home. It's absolutely okay. Now, IT sector is one sector that can afford to do that because they have given training to the people, and they have given equipment, the support to design their home offices. This is the sort of trend that many organizations, I am sure, are already, it may not be in my knowledge right now, but I'm sure a lot of organizations in Pakistan are looking at this model to let women work from home, and if they are caught up in the family, adjust their schedules so that no important task is missed. Work is not halted because of such and such person was caught up in family affairs. So I see a change after Corona in the demands of the people, especially Generation Z, that people like you who are now going out in the market and asking for jobs. A lot of students I have taught and I'm in contact with, they now would prefer something of their own as well, in addition to a job. So 9 to 5, working 9 to 5 is no longer on people's agenda, broadly speaking. Yes, it is required, but if people are given option, many of them will opt for something, negotiate with the employer. Yes, I will come to the office for such a number of days when I'm required, and yes, you may give me off time for my family and life. So I think it's no shame now to talk about these ideas, and there are a lot of companies in Pakistan who are embracing it. And Telenor is one company, and many other companies. They now have struck a balance between what can be done to facilitate their employees. Now, as an HR person, I think it's a wonderful thing to see around you that many people are now very vocal about it, the challenges women face, and what can be done about it. And they are not just doing talks on media; they are actually implementing these. So this trend is in baby stages in Pakistan. But very quickly, inshallah, I think in next 5 years, I see a very healthy change in basically the policies related to women in Pakistan.
Especially due to the current condition of Pakistan, youngsters are trying to do more and more because of the political situation. They're trying to get do something other than that 9 to 5 job. I think that's also one of the reasons. And so, ma'am, have you encountered any obstacles or resistance from your family or relatives regarding your career choices?
No, never. I have been independent in whatever I wanted to do, whenever I wanted to do my masters, whenever. In fact, from my father's side, I was the first female to go to UK to get my master's degree from my father's side. On my mother's side, there are plenty of people who were already settled abroad. But it was a big step from my father's side to let me go and pursue, and I was married at that time. So it was, very easy for me to make that decision and go to UK and stay there for so many years and learn from the best of the market. And yes, now I'm enrolled in a PhD. My family supported me from day one. Yes. So I am, like I said, I have not been unfortunate in that sense. I have had plenty of support always from my family, my immediate family as well as from extended family. But generally, women do not get these options in Pakistan. Not very easily. Like they will have to convince, they will have to fight for it, they will have to make people around them understand that this is important decision for their professional life. When you are unmarried, I think most women have more choices. When you are married, now by default, you have to take into account a lot of things, because you no longer are making decision for yourself. Actually, whatever decision you will make will have an impact on the people associated with you. So I find my interaction and in my network, a lot of women I know who are married, who have children, who are living in joint family system, they actually make a strategy. They don't just make random decisions. They actually plan. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what my family can support me. This is the extent to which they can support me. So, all right, if something overlaps, what am I going to do? I myself have been part of such discussions with women who try and design something for themselves intellectually, or to enhance their career. They are enrolled into different certificates to improve their skills. Yes, time is consuming, energy is consumed, and when you're trying to do so many things at one time, sometimes you can't give 100% to that, like I said earlier. So I know that a lot of women are not taking random decisions. When they take a decision, especially married women, when they take a decision which can impact their family, they do a serious due diligence around it and then try and float the idea. They're very pretty mindful. Most of them are very mindful of the impact of their decision.
So, what advice would you give to the females who may be struggling to balance their career and their personal life?
Oh, one, my prayers with them. Yeah, they need lots of courage, and I adore their courage of stepping into the professional world and facing that world, and then facing their family life as well. What advice, if I could give, I would give it to everybody involved, because it's not just the woman who is the stakeholder here, it's the family, it's the employer. So my advice to all the stakeholders who are part of it, that we need to, we particularly Southeast Asia, well, to Pakistanis, we need to create an environment for women where they feel appreciated, not just on Women's Day once in a year. No, not just then. They need to be appreciated. They need to be. There has to be a method of recognition in a woman's personal life as well as in professional life. Kindness can go a very long way in changing human behavior and having a great impact, everlasting impact on any individual. So I think my advice to everyone who is surrounding such women is, please be kind to them. Please listen to them. Please respect them for the shortcomings they have and appreciate them for the strengths they bring to you on your table. Be as a daughter, be as a wife, be as a mother, daughter-in-law, or as a professional. Please appreciate them. They go through a lot of challenges which they can't even talk about openly. Sometimes they're fighting so many fights alone. Just sit with them. Just be kind to them. If they say something which you don't like, rather than giving a reaction, give them time. Go walk up to them and ask them, are you feeling okay? As a supervisor or as a boss, rather than telling them off, walk up to them and ask them very politely, is everything all right at home? And if you are a family member, please walk up to her and say, is there anything I can help you with? Can I take something off your plate and I can be useful for you? How can I do that? It's the combined responsibility of everyone to be kind to her. So this is my advice to everyone, is that please keep in mind that if she is going out to pursue her career, it's her right. It's her right. If she has earned a degree, she knows a skill, she can do something good for you economically, give her that chance. But be kind to her, be considerate. I think women can do much better if they have kinder society around them, who are not judging her all the time, who is not toxic, who is not criticizing them for the sake of criticism, who is just going out of their way and walking up to them and asking them in polite manner, what is it that we can do to make your life easy?
Appreciation does boost your confidence. As I am a student, and if some professor appreciates my work, I try and do much better than that in the next time.
Agreed. I'm 45. I need appreciation from the people around me constantly in order for me to stay positive.
So, ma'am, what programs might be put in place to assist Pakistani women?
I think the initiative that you have taken to talk about this matter, I think we need to have more dialogue in the universities, at well homes. students who go home and see something happening in their family, which they believe that is no longer relevant. A certain practice has become redundant. I think they can politely start discussing. The society as a whole needs to have more discussion on it. There has to be on a government level, the government is trying, honestly. There are so many platforms they have created to facilitate women, to help them raise their voice. But as a society, I think we all need to play our role in order to make life of our daughters, our mothers, our sisters very easy and convenient. So the more discussion we have, the more positive reinforcement, good ideas will emerge, and we will have more positive discussion around. There actually will be practically, we will be able to, when we listen to a lot of opinions, we will be able to practically come across things, how to deal with them. And then whatever is happening in West, we need to contextualize it. Some of the things that happen over there may not be directly applicable here. So if we see a trend happening in West, we need to study it first to see if it can be contextualized in an environment like Pakistan. So I think we need to benchmark what are the best practices for women in society, not just work environment, as a society. So the attitude that needs to change in Pakistan is not, just the organization. It is, I think, the society's role need to change. We need to provide more opportunity for the women to say things out without fear, to work in the professions they want to work, and we need to create an environment where women are heard. And if they have said something, I think there needs to be a platform now for them to say things openly, and the society needs to listen to their voices. And I think overall, the society has to support them at it somehow. There has to be a framework in which the government, the society, the private and public sector, they sit together, and they make it possible for young women and other women as well to say things the way they want to do. Yeah.
Ma'am, I would like to conclude this discussion by asking you this last question, that how do you envision the future of working women in Pakistan?
I see a lot of changes. After Corona, I think a lot of organizations have taken it very seriously. I see a lot of NGOs doing programs, street walks, in which they are now discussing the problems women are facing and what can be done about it. I see a lot of positive dialogue happening. And like I said, that we need to discuss these things more often, more frequently, not to pass judgments, not to have fights or conflict, but to listen to other people and see, okay, what skills our women need, what type of jobs are available in the market, how can we make sure that women are equipped to deliver the best results in the organization. So more and more conversation has to be around how can we best pay women, how can we respect them for the work they do, how can we make sure that they stay relevant in the times that is happening across the globe, how can we make sure that more and more women are empowered through enhancing their skills, and how can we improve their financial literacy, digital literacy. These are the sort of things which are happening in Pakistan, and a lot of companies are taking now ownership of training women in Pakistan for their financial literacy. A lot of banks are doing, a lot of organizations are doing programs. There are a lot of people who are very actively making it their life's mission to make sure that women in Pakistan are empowered digitally as well as financially. And you have seen the rise of startups in Pakistan, and women startups more. So it's very healthy. I see the environment, the direction of the environment very healthy, and I think I wish everyone who is part of this particular positive initiative to make women life in Pakistan more conducive, more positive, more nurturing. I think I would say thank you to them, and I want them to keep that up.
So thanks a lot, ma'am, for your time.
Thank you for having me over here. Thank you.
Okay.